Good afternoon. My name is Bill Stubbles. I'm one of the solutions engineers for the GoAnywhere product. I'd like to talk to you today about GoAnywhere's ease of use. One of the flagship features of GoAnywhere is the intuitive web-based interface. The product is designed that you can onboard a new trading partner and build out the end-to-end basic file transfer process in a matter of minutes. It can be as simple as building out the server resource. Here you can see a list of the predefined resource types GoAnywhere can support out of the box. Then build out an PVT, post-validation test, a basic put or get workflow here in the projects view, in the workflow designer. I'll show you more about that in a moment. Once you have the workflow completed, you can set up the automation through a schedule or through a monitor, through a process that allows you to monitor a folder for the creation or existence of a file, and then and only then trigger the workflow associated with that monitor. You can also start a service through the service manager. We can start one of the protocol listeners here. Then we build out our web user account. And then we build out automation based on user-initiated events through the triggers functionality for automating the inbound file processing. One of the biggest factors contributing to the ease of use is the graphical workflow designer that I touched on a moment ago. Workflows are similar to shell scripts, and they can both automate business processes, but workflows have the advantage of minimal syntax. You don't have to review SDK documentation to remember or search for an appropriate PowerShell commandlet, then look up the required syntax and parameters. Within the Workflow Designer, all of your available tasks are at your fingertips in the component library. As an example, I'm going to take a project here that I've set up, basic SFTP list files project. The tasks that we mentioned are organized in functional groups here in the component library via these drop-down menus. Your file compression tasks, for example, or file encryption tasks. Data translation tasks for light ETL work, reading and writing different file formats. SOAP or REST tasks for interfacing with external web services. And then job control and looping tasks for program logic. We have about 150 tasks here total that you can work with, all available at your fingertips, all presented in a graphical environment that shows you at a glance. We'll take this SFTP list files task here as an example. You can see the available parameters and, where relevant, the available response codes. Additionally to this, almost all of these tasks have built-in help. This built-in help will document how the basic task itself works, but then they'll get into how to use the task. In this case, how would you configure an SFTP GET? Step by step, what are the screenshots? What are the fields we need to plug in for a GET or for an SFTP put? Or in the above example we were looking at, when we're going to create a list of files. Lastly, we've also got field definitions here. Every single field, every single parameter within this task is displayed here, is documented as to how it works, how you use it, how it's defined, what values we're expecting there. I was a customer before I joined Fortra. I ran a Go instance for a small financial services company for about 2.5 years. And I like to say that the built-in help is your new best friend where the GoAnywhere product is concerned. So in summary, GoAnywhere is designed so that you don't need to be a developer to build out workflows. All you need to be able to do is plan out step by step, what do you want your workflow to do? For example, here, we're listing files. And then the next step here might be to get those files that we downloaded from this list. We might go ahead and take these files and distribute them into temporary memory, let's say a workspace, just for the sake of argument here. But you don't have to be a developer. All you need to be able to do is plan out step by step, what do you want this workflow to do? And then plug in the appropriate tasks from the component library, and then set the various parameters. I hope you found this information helpful. You can reach out to your Fortra account representative if you would like additional information or to request a demo. Thank you very much for your time.